Oh my god, I hit 30 subscribers on this fucking channel. Oh man, shout out to the 30 people that subscribe to this channel. I fucks with y'all heavy. But oh man, when I tell you like this channel is literally just me just talking my shit. It's literally just me talking my shit. Also trying to get better at public speaking. But it's literally just me talking my shit. So I appreciate y'all. Let me talk my shit here. So, alright, what are we talking about now? Now, as far as I wonder how, people in the black manosphere and other people that's around the black manosphere and what the content that everybody's kind of always listening to. Now, I guess ever since 2020 or since Kevin Samuels and with the your average at best talk, and everybody wants to know what a high value man is, and the whole talk of the modern woman and the feminist thing, because that's for the past 2 years that is all we talk about, to where people are either sick of it or we haven't even got to the fucking basis of it, or like I've said, we're not listening to each other. But I wanted to say this, and one thing I noticed about all these, everybody want to be a high value man and all that other shit, that nobody wants to be average. That's the thing. No one wants to be average. But I want you to, especially women, because obviously a lot of you women, y'all do not want to settle for an average man. And y'all can say y'all really don't. A lot of y'all say money don't matter. But Kevin Samuels has so much proof. Kevin Samuels has so much proof about y'all not wanting an average man. Y'all want a high value nigga with some shit. And y'all not selling it for less or shit like that. Okay. That's all cool and shit. But I noticed one thing about these channels and about all these channels. They're all talking about the 10%. And I said this in my last video. I was going to talk about this. All these channels are talking about the 10%. Now, what about the 90%? How do we date in the 90%? Because everybody's like the dating pool has pee in it. I get it, bro. I get it. But I've realized there's not really much talk about the 90%. Okay, if 10% of only people make $100K a year, how are we supposed to maneuver in this 90% world? Because let's be real, not everybody's going to make $100K. Inflation is going to fuck up a lot of us. And the way the world is going, we might, some people might be in some shit. Now, look, I think personally, and I've always said this, am I a traditionalist? Yeah, I do. I feel like the man is supposed to protect and provide and all that other stuff. But you gotta get there first, and And sometimes you ladies, you don't realize that shit takes time. Even with men, it's like some people, either they're late bloomers or, they try to get there, they get knocked on their ass and then they come back. A lot of men don't really go to college. They really go straight to work. Because I've said this before, women more focused on education, men more focused on work. That's why women got so much PhDs and degrees to get to where they need it, because contrary to belief, a lot of jobs, you need a fucking bachelor's degree to even fucking get entry-level work. I've seen one that's like, you need a master's degree and they want entry-level work. Which is bullshit, by the way. Which is totally bullshit. But that's where the fuck we at right now. And a lot of men, we have the experience, but sometimes we don't have the degrees. And that's what really fucks people up. So it's just like, I gotta go into depth to get a degree. So it's one of those, how do you maneuver and shit? Because there's a lot of people that, went to school for one thing and is in a high profitable business, but they're not working in that high profitable business. They're fucking waiters or some shit like that. Some people want to be graphic design can't even get a graphic design job. I know a couple people, they want to make video games for a living, went to school to make video games, but some people don't tell you, only reason I'm saying this because I originally wanted to go to college to make video games, and then I realized, it's not that video games are hard to make, but some studios don't really last, especially. Some studios don't really last, and it's hard to get a job in that area. I noticed that because EA kept shutting down studios and shit. So I said, fuck that shit. I'm not going to get a job where I may get a fucking job making video games and shit, and like studios getting shut down. As popular as video games is right now, motherfucking, like, it's not that many fucking studios making them. It's not that much. It's a very niche business. Take that what you want. So, I don't have a problem with none of these people. Like, they're talking about the high value man. There's nothing wrong with them talking about. And matter of fact, that's why I never had a problem with Kevin Samuels' content. And people always talking about Kevin Samuels' content because Kevin Samuels specifically tell you my content is for high value men. His content is always, and I used to tell these people, maybe most people don't want that. And he always specifically said, my content is for people who make at least 100,000 and up. Anytime when I'm talking about men, I'm talking about that 10% of men that, make 100,000. And it's like 5% of black men, or maybe even lower than that, they even make 100,000. He's told people that. So you can't get mad at the content when that's where his content is for. Now, Fresh and Fit, their content, they tell you their shit is, to expose women nature and how the fuck they act. So, I wouldn't say they're for the people that's for the 90%, but they bring women all the time on there. Whether people believe that they pick and choose their women, even though they said it themselves, and they brought women. And here's the thing, I think Fresh is Fit is smart because they had a call-in show, and they was talking about the women they bring on. He said, and one of the women said, we bring on women, they're fucking degrees, they got masters, they got their own businesses. Some of them make their own money. Some people are lawyers, aspiring lawyers. They all say the same thing. So whether you want to believe they pick and choose their women, but a lot of women do believe that. And even Kevin Samuels is just like, a lot of these women, they got their own businesses, they're PhD. That's why you got that, I'm a PhD button. That's why you had that, I'm a PhD. A lot of these women, they're, successful women, they're not wanting a man, they want a man at their level, at quote unquote their level. So they don't want a building nigga and all that shit. So that's why 21 Savage, a lot of people was mad at 21 Savage when he said a rich man can take a broke bitch and make her somebody, but a rich woman is not going to take a broke nigga and make him anything. Which is what man? And you know what? And it's true because even though what man you see, I know people just like Mary J. Blige tried to make her husband a manager. I thought that was a bad idea, but I guess you gotta understand, there's nothing to tell you, what, if you make if you don't, let's say you make the average salary, how do you maneuver in this world making the average salary? There's no YouTube videos for that. If there is, please show me. I would like to see, and I would like to explore their content. If anybody's like, how do I move in this modern times with the budget? How do I budget myself? If there's any channel out there, because this is, like I said, this is only 30 subscribers. If there's any channel out there that does that, please send them to me. I would like to see their content, and I would like to see their video, and I want to look at their content. I'm open to looking at new, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm getting tired of some of the shit I'm looking at, and it's not the fact that they're saying the same shit. It's just that I feel like we're going nowhere. I'm glad that men and women are having this conversation. Don't get me wrong. I am so glad that men and women are having this conversation. But it seems like the conversation isn't going anywhere. Is that either they're not, when I know there's a video on there that says we're not listening to each other, is more prevalent now than when I said that back then. We are just not listening to each other. Fucking women not listening to men when we tell you we don't care about your fucking, especially like niggas that make $100K and up, they don't care about your money. It's like they don't care. And women, you know why they don't care about the money? Because most of the time, let's just say a nigga gets hard at work. Not a nigga is like he loses his job. He loses his 100K job, and it's hard for him to get another fucking job. Are you going to support the family? You'll probably do it for like maybe a month or two, and then you be like, I can't do this no more. I can't support you. You women are not built. I say this, and I think some of y'all women know this. That's why y'all don't want a broke nigga. Y'all want a man to make 100K and up. But it's just like, y'all not built to keep a family together. If you want to challenge me on that, fair. That is fair. Challenge me on that. But a lot of y'all women are not built to keep a family together. That's why men are important. And that's another thing. It's just like, if I make like millions of dollars, a bitch could work at McDonald's as long as but if she have good qualities, then she's fucking getting wiped up. And a lot of niggas and women wonder about that. It's like, why the fuck you marry a bitch at McDonald's? Because she fucking does stuff for me that you probably won't do. And she can just like, all of a sudden she working at McDonald's was like, but she can cook, clean, know how to be feminine. With as you don't have to force the feminine. She's just feminine. She knows how to nurture. She doesn't mind being a stay-at-home wife while you go ahead and make the money. My nigga, right there. That's the woman you want. That's the niggas we want. And I know a lot of women you thinking that's slavery. That's not oppression. That's just what we need. I take care of everything. I go out there and fight the world. All you need to do is nurture the kids. And that's what the women... I mean... And do I think women listen to men? Fuck no. And that's why I feel like we're in this stupid ass battle that, but I can only speak for the men's side. But, I would say this, I'm going, jumping on with my words. I would say this. We need each other. But I've always said this, women, I feel like sometimes the nigga that you want doesn't make 100K. You want him to make 100K. I feel like half of the times, the man you want is a woman. I'm not even going to hold you. The man you want is a woman or, some type of beta cuck. I don't like using the word beta, but sometimes you want to be the man in a relationship with the beta. And that's another problem that I know this. I say it all the time. This is not a women bashing channel, but there are some gripes I do have with my sisters, and the fact that I feel like y'all get it all wrong. How men that protect and provide, we don't really bring it in your face. Like I feel like. Only time when a man brings that, I pay for everything, I pay for this house, I'm the head of the castle, is when you women get out of line and he has to check y'all. I've seen it from the other way around where it's just like a man, he can just have a different opinion and you want to kick that nigga out the house for having a different opinion. You women, like a lot of, and I can say this, you women are selfish by nature. I've always said this. I've had arguments with, men can be selfish too. I said, not necessarily, because everything we do for the family. Even when it's just like we marry for a legacy. We want a family. We want to, that's why most of the time men get married. For legacy, for family. Something they can pass on. If I do something great, I want my kids to do something great. A lot of you women, when y'all married for safety. Y'all don't marry for legacy. Y'all don't say shit. I want my son. Y'all don't say things like I want my son to be the greatest or something. You can challenge me on this too. There's a lot of things on here. You can challenge me on anything, but the fact that I think men like we marry for legacy, that's very unselfish because it's just like if my daughter, I want my daughter to be if she's to be the best woman she can be, whether that's a wife or she fucking in sports and fucking change the world or some shit like that. Or our son, do we want them to be the chip off the old block? Or if he does something in his word, it's just like that's my child, that's my boy. That's the shit. Especially when men want to have sons, they want them to be like their dear old pops. That's it. We want the daughters to be the princesses, and we want the sons to be the chip off the old block. That's very old school, but that's just how men is. But everything we do, we build that for them. Now, foreigners, I know they do that. They work 2 or 3 jobs just so you can go to school and be a doctor and all that other shit. But you can say the foreigners do that because every foreigner does. But I would definitely say that men, we're more unselfish. Like we have our selfish moments, but we're more unselfish than women are. And I could definitely, I would stand on that. Like I said, I don't mind getting challenged about it. A lot of these opinions of mine, I don't mind getting challenged. If I'm wrong, I'll change my opinion. But a lot of these times, I don't mind getting challenged. The thing is, it's just like some people don't even want to be rich. The contrary to the popular belief, because I feel like a lot of those people that when they're talking to the people that want to get rich. They want to get the Lambo. They want to get the like Sneeko. It's like they're for people like Sneeko. If you ever seen Sneeko, that's who the fucking like Fresh and Fit audience. That's what they want. People like him. If you wonder how do you date on a budget? Because I don't make $100K, but I still want to make sure she gets out in the nighttime. How do I date on a budget? Meeting girls in my love. I say this because I know a lot of people hate, for some men and women. I notice this. Men and women hate 50-50. But I also say this. For someone that's if you're not making $100K, 50-50 is the most logical fucking thing you can do. And this is why, like, I always look at people weird when it was just like, don't nobody want to go 50-50. Even like women that make $100K, I can't do 50-50. Or, I've had this argument. Both of us make if you make 50K, and this, I'm talking to people that don't make 100K. Hell, if you don't even make 75K. But if I have my 50K, because everybody knows that, especially in most cities and most states, you need a 2-person income. So if I come with my 50K and you come with your 50K, and people, 50K is average, 42 and like 38. Those are the exact numbers, but we rounded off to 50K. The average person makes at least 50K, especially the average man makes 50K. So if you're a man that makes 50K, because I see white people do this all the fucking time, but black people, we have a problem doing it. That's why I think we're fucking backwards. That's why we are the most backwards people. But let me get to, if you make 50K and your girl make 50K, what is the problem with y'all dating, putting y'all money together, and at least get into a house that you can, let's say, you both have earned 100 fucking K. Both of y'all earn fucking K. That means both of y'all could afford to live in a house within your means between 50 and 100K. I would say you get to a house that, 75K. You still have 25K left to do whatever the fuck you want. But you make 50K. It's like you make 50K here. And obviously, I'm not, I know a little bit about economy. I know, but I'm rounding some fucking numbers off. But I feel like people will understand what the fuck I'm talking about. if you make 50K and I make 50K and we go half on everything, we fucking share a car, or we fucking get a car to go to point A to point B. We get a nice little house that we can afford to live comfortably in. Comfortably. There's nothing wrong with that. I work, you work. There's nothing logical. I work, you work. Hell, let's try to make something out of this. Let's build something out of this until like one of us at least, get to a point where I don't have to, especially men. I feel like, hey, if you could because most girls are like that. Both of us, we make good money. Let's both, come in, get a house together. We live together. And then if one person like gets promoted to a point where we're making good enough money where you don't have to work, you don't have to work. But if you still want to work, that's fine. And this is what I want to, like I said, this is for the people that make under 100K. There's nothing wrong with going 50-50 if you make under 100K. I don't care what anybody says. If you look at the fucking economy, that's where it's going. It's like, especially some places to live, like fucking DC. DC is expensive to live in, contrary to the fucking belief. New York, LA, some parts of fucking Georgia, maybe Atlanta. I think Atlanta's... That's a 2-income house. Miami's fucking expensive. But, go move to North Carolina where you can at least, at least get yourself a fucking house. Houses around here cost a fucking $250,000. And they not worth the $250,000. But you can get yourself a 3 in North Carolina, and I'm exaggerating, but, I'm probably right. You can get a fucking 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house for, 100K in fucking North Carolina or some shit like that. Give or take. You go to a small town and y'all make good enough money, y'all can live in a house fucking comfortably. And it's the same looking house as, fucking out here in fucking Maryland where it's like $250,000. It's one of those things where I'm looking at. I understand, everybody has big dreams. You want to make good enough money. You want to be somebody. You want to leave a legacy and all that shit. Hey, that's fine. If you want to date a man that makes someone over 100K, that's fine. If you make 100K, you want to date a bad bitch that just want to cook and clean and shit, that's fine. But know what the fuck you bringing in. But I want people to understand that a lot of y'all are not going to get this. So a lot of y'all need to move y'all need to move like you don't make a fucking 100K a year. Look, I would say this. My parents, they fucking, there's 6 of us living with our parents. Yes, and all 6 of us got through high school. All 6 of us, graduated. Some of us went to college. Some went other routes and all that stuff. We're all good. And, that was based off of 2-income houses. And sometimes my mom didn't work all the time. And my father had to take care of most of the finances. If they was able to make it through with 6 fucking kids, I'm pretty sure, with the 2-income houses, and, they were married 20 years before they divorced. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all could do that with half of that. Hell, there's people I know in the military, they get married, they have kids. And the military is you don't make a lot of money until you're like a fucking E7. Or E5 or E6 with some time in. If you're military, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But a lot of those people, they stay together for the family and all that other shit. I know a couple people, they're together with family and shit. And making good money. It's good enough money. They also live in Norfolk, Virginia. A lot of these people live in Norfolk. Norfolk is not expensive to live in. Not like fucking up here in DC. So, all I'm saying is, we need I would like to see something overall. I would like to see something that, for the people that, hell, you probably not gonna make 100K, but let's how do you maneuver your life under it? Because a lot, people want to go places, and that's cool. People want to go to other countries. They want to travel. They want to get on boat cruises. Hell, some people just even want a nice car and all that shit. Some people would never get that. I know people that never left these fucking state. And I say this all the time. DC is small, and people have never left DC. Now they're going out trips, try to take trips everywhere and all that shit. But even then, it's just like how do you prepare? You want to take a trip. How do you prepare to save money for that trip so you can make sure you can get there and back comfortably without having to stress yourself out? There's ways about that. I'm pretty sure, and I hope if this message does get out, it people can tell you how to fucking live through that. But a lot of these, they'll tell you how to live, that 100K life, that 100K. It's like, hey, but I'm gonna say this: for the people that want to do that, stay on your grind. Keep trying to until you achieve your goals. Stay on grind. Keep achieve all your goals. And once you achieve your goals, have more goals. Keep going. So, and I know a lot of these people, especially in this generation, a lot of people are miserable. But I feel like we're also we can, like, we're most depressed and all that and shit. But I feel like we're still mentally tough enough to, like, get through shit. I will say that. But let me know what y'all think. Till then, my name was Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.